podcast and radio show dedicated to all things Kentucky sports. Well, bingo, bango, bongo, Big Blue. From Pikeville to Paducah and all points in between, we give you an in-depth and sometimes extremely opinionated view of the Wildcats. The phone lines are now open. It's Wildcat Sports Talk. Let's join the two guys that bring the action every single week. Adam Webb and Tim Brandstetter.
Yeah, that's right. We are broadcasting live on this Thursday night here to bring you another show, another week, and we are super excited for it. A lot of news. First of all, lots of news. We'll discuss all of it. We will go in depth during this show. We've got a couple of guests that are going to join us on the show. Tod Lanter will be on about 7:15. But I guess we'll just start right off with the big stories, right? First of all, Scott Drew.
Said no.
Not going to do it. Danny Hurley said no.
Said there's not enough money. There's not enough money to get.
And I don't
Danny
understand
Hurley.
that.
You know what? He said he said once you have enough money, you don't need any more.
Right. I mean, but here's the thing, man, and part of me, I appreciate that sentiment.
Yeah.
I really do. I get it.
You never hear anybody say that.
Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, like, I mean, he's obviously, he's scared. Kentucky.
He's scared. Yeah, he's scared.
I mean, and nobody, and people say, well, that's, and look, I told you all when Cal, when we all said that it was time for a change, I said we could get anybody we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that.
Well, a guy that just won back-to-back national championships and has all the resources to keep winning, it wouldn't make sense for him to leave his job. You know what I mean? Why?
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. And on top of that, it is definitely a situation where now we really it's getting a little scary. I'm not gonna lie.
It's starting to get a little bit.
Scary.
It's starting to get a little bit.
Now, if you go out now, I'm gonna be honest with you, and maybe I'm on an island by myself, and you can weigh in. Feel free. The phone lines are open. 859-428-8419. The number is down at the bottom of your screen right there. And, of course, you can also just comment here. But
so I got to ask, man, let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Mark Pope.
No. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a wonderful guy. Great person.
He's a former Wildcat, national champion.
Big part of that 96 team.
Doing good at BYU.
But no,
it would be a fun family.
See, here's the thing: you're sold on him. And
No, I'm not sold on him. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad with Mark Pope, but I would think that we could do better.
Well, so I'll say this, and we'll go ahead and let's take a call. And after this call, right, I'll give you my 2 cents. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Jason Root from Manchester, Kentucky.
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hearing that Mark Pope might be the new coach at Kentucky. Is that right or wrong?
Well, that's just one of the names that's getting thrown out there, but it's really.
Who knows at this point? But he's a candidate.
Well, he just won 40% of his games that he's coached, so we will go downhill real bad if he's the coach, won't we?
Well, he didn't win those at Kentucky though.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're driving a Pinto and you lose a race and then you get in a Porsche, you might have a chance to win it.
Yeah. But I'll say.
Well, what about B. Diamond? Is they still trying to get him?
They're still trying to get Donovan, and he's still coaching right now.
He's still coaching in the NBA, so it won't be till next week. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if we'll hear anything tomorrow. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We're gonna talk about some ideas of what we might want. But yeah, I appreciate the call.
Yeah, I won't be a Donovan as coach.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, we like Donovan too. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Good call.
I'm gonna say a couple things here for the folks that are listening. Okay. That are curious as to what we, and I'm getting some texts. I'm getting breaking news kind of as we're on here.
That's what people are tuned in for. That's why we got how many? 280 people tuned in.
Yeah. But it's funny. I've told you this a couple times. And everybody's asked me all week long. Like, I've really you've seen. I've opened up my sources. We actually have sources.
We're
now.
actually hitting people up now that we usually didn't hit up.
Yeah, we didn't used to do that, but now we actually have built a little bit of a rapport with some folks and are able to do that. We'll take another call. You're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hello, guys. I just wanted to say that I think you guys said we might be starting to get scary. I think it's already really scary.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair.
Well, and two, I know a lot of people's talking about Billy Donovan, but I think that's a mistake also. Yeah, he's a great coach, but however, he's been in the pros for a long time. He's been out of the college circuit. He's been out of the way to get these kids to connect with them. He didn't like recruiting when he was in college. He hated that part of it. I don't think he's the answer.
I'm glad you said that.
Answer is.
I'm glad you said that. Not to cut you off, I'm glad you said that because I've been thinking about it all day. And for years, hearing the name Billy Donovan makes Kentucky fans excited, and it makes me excited. But I agree with you. I think he's been out of the college game for a long time. The college game has changed. He has no freshman recruiting class coming in. He has no current roster to pull from. We're going to be set back a year.
Know anybody.
I'm gonna
those contacts.
I'll say I'm gonna lay this out here for folks. I'm not sold on Mark Pope, and this again I might be on an island by myself, but according to this caller, I'm not. I'm not sold on Billy Donovan coming to Kentucky. He's turned us down twice.
I wanted Drew. I
really thought Scott Drew or Hurley would be our two, really. I figured Scott Drew would be the safe one if we didn't get Hurley.
Yeah, we couldn't get Hurley, so we wanted Scott Drew. He made sense.
But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and this is my list. If you can't get Hurley and you can't get Drew, I think from there you go straight to Bruce Pearl. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says.
Why not?
I think you go straight to Bruce Pearl. Then if you don't get Bruce Pearl, I think you go ahead and get Rick Pitino back for 3 years real quick and teach somebody.
If you do not want to get Pitino and you don't get Pearl, I'm throwing a name in there that you don't agree with. But before I take a chance on Mark Pope, I take a chance on Todd Golden at Florida.
Yeah,
or Chris Beard.
There you go.
Exactly. Well, listen. We appreciate it. Thanks for calling us. All right, approaching 400 viewers here.
Awesome.
Online. Good stuff.
Big Blue Nation is fired up right now, man. Yeah. We're crazy. We need a leader. We need a coach.
Pearl would. Clyde says Pearl would crawl here, and I totally agree with that.
I said the same thing today.
He absolutely.
He's loved Kentucky since he's been coaching in the SEC. He's always loved Kentucky.
Nick says I'm crazy if I think Pitino should come back. No, a
lot of people believe that. I get what he's saying.
I get it. I totally get that. But here's my thought, and this is something that I know. Caller, give us just a second here, and we'll get you on. But here's something that I know for a fact. Okay, I really truly believe that Mitch Barnhart is gone within the next couple of years.
Starting to look that way.
I really think that's why Cal was going to stay.
Well, even when he had a little talk with Cal, he said, we want to leave on a high note, meaning I want to leave. I want to leave soon, yeah.
So what better opportunity to go out and get a guy like Rick to come in and leave it for the next guy, and then when you get a new AD, new coach, you're trained up by Rick Pitino, which is arguably the best coach that ever coached the game.
Let Pitino train a guy for a couple of years.
I think you do it. I don't know why you don't. I mean, it could definitely be a benefit. You're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey, Adam and Tim. It's Philip.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing? Thought I recognized that Lawrenceburg number.
Yeah. Will you do me a favor and put on your website the Arkansas call-in show? All these people that are all pro Calipari, there is a team for them to follow. Why don't they just go to the Arkansas radio show? I don't understand why.
Razorback Sports Talk. I mean, it's
the people that keep saying you got what you wanted. Hey, look, get what you want and go buy an Arkansas shirt.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'd like to sell some more. You know, they need sales over there.
I think the biggest thing we're looking for, and you guys are making some great points, and the only thing I would say is we want a guy that comes in and lives and bleeds like we do every time a game, an SEC game. It don't matter if it's a preseason game. It don't matter when it is. We want somebody that feels it just like we do. And we had a coach that said that in 2019 he made a mistake not going to UCLA, even though we offered him a lifetime contract. What does that say about this gentleman?
Yeah, that tells you that, I mean, we were right all along. And that, I mean, man, here's the thing, Philip. Not to say too much bad about Calipari. I've got plenty I'd like to say. And don't get me wrong, I respect what he did. I'll always appreciate what he did, and he brought a lot of excitement to Kentucky basketball. I really, really appreciate that. I'll never forget it. Though. But it's time for him and us to move on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like this, okay? It's like it was never going to be okay. And here's the thing: there was no scenario in which Cal was going to ever come back. I just didn't believe it, especially after he went and talked to that's like you dating somebody, right? And they go and talk to another man for a little while, and then they come back and they're like, "Well, I don't like that man as much." Well, okay, no, go on now.
Yeah,
you know that's it. So we're just, that's just that's.
So
that.
Philip, real quick before you hang up, who do you want? Who do you think we get?
Well, I'm absolutely, Adam and I are 100% here. You've got to get somebody that's going to get the boat back in the normal position. We're capsized a little right now. We're not over, and we'll come back. But if we get a guy like Rick, stays 2 or 3 years, gets the right assistant coach, hand it off, and we'll be fine.
I'll say this before you go. I've already said it, but I feel like I need to say it again. I would take Rick for a couple years. I love that. I'm never going to say no to Rick Pitino. Sorry, people will hate me for that, but I would love Rick back for a couple years. But if they're not wanting to go in that direction, if they're dead set against going Rick Pitino, then I take Bruce Pearl over Donovan. People are going to hate me for that. But just the timing and the situation, and he has no roster, he has no recruiting class. He's been out of the game. Who knows if he can still coach today's college game? I don't know. Bruce Pearl would keep us going.
Yeah,
Pearl would keep us going. You're right. Donovan, if he was closer to now, not that we would turn him down. I know he's a great coach. I agree with you guys' concerns there. But one thing about it, we'll get boys to come play for us.
You're right. You're right.
Get Donovan. We'll get people.
Yeah.
It may take a year.
Here's
but
what
if
I'll
we get Donovan. I mean, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks, Philip. Good to talk to you, man. Here's what I'll say. And by the way, for folks that are asking if you call, will I answer? Yes, we don't do that.
We've only got one line, so but if you call, we'll answer.
We literally will answer any call that calls in. But here's what we've gone 14 minutes without mentioning this, and that's a shock for us.
What's that?
But here's how the next coach is successful. I don't care who it is. If you roll into the press conference with Reed Shepherd sitting right next to you, you'll win the whole fan base right back.
Listen, if Mark Pope comes up and he goes, guess what? Jeff called me. My buddy Jeff Shepherd called me. Reed got on the line. Hire me. Reed's coming back. I'd say pay him whatever he wants.
That's exactly right. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this? Mark, how you doing?
What's up, man?
I was in high school when Eddie Sutton left and Rick Pitino came in. I had a great friend that played there with Rick, and I've seen some of that stuff. And one thing that has hit me that I've thought about the difference between Pitino and Calipari is, Pitino had a lot of good assistant coaches who became pretty good to great head coaches. Don't know really anybody that's come off a Calipari staff that's went and led a school to do anything.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And so I think the idea of bringing Rick back, if that is a possibility, to bring a young coming up coach, kind of mold him, would be a great idea to do that. I think he's still relevant. And I do like Bruce Pearl. Now, Bruce has also had some struggles in the tournament and getting put out early and stuff like that. But the man can coach. He's got X's and O's. And that's why I'm so happy that Cal is gone, because he ain't going to out-coach whoever we hire. He may out-talent us at some point because of his recruiting. He ain't going to out-coach nobody. And I've been saying that for years. He's not an X's and O's guy. He can't make game adjustments. So I think Kentucky – I've been here long enough, been a fan long enough. Kentucky will make it through. My only thought that I've ever said is I don't want to get to a point where Barnhart hires somebody that he shouldn't. I don't want to become an Indiana in our lifetime.
Right.
I don't want to be rushing the floor because we beat somebody.
Yep.
We should never rush a floor. We should never be mediocre. We should be in the conversation. I know we're not going to win it every year, but I think Rick and Bruce is the way to go and see if, Rick may not be willing to leave New York. He loves that area, and I know his wife does, so that may not be an option.
Yeah.
But I do look back at those two errors, and you look at Calipari, he's done this, and he's brought this talent in, but, Rick did too.
Yeah.
And if Rick wouldn't have left, who knows what could have happened. We were in a national championship game 3 years in a row, and even though Tubby did a good job coaching, it was Rick's players.
Yeah, bring in
Tubby. Tubby did a great job.
I was going to say, I saw somebody said Pelfrey. Bring in Rick with John Pelfrey, or bring in Rick with Mark Pope. Do something like that.
Something like that. But you really think about how many coaches Rick put in, Herb Sendek, Donovan. There's guys that went on to coach and had really good coaching careers, if not great. And Cal ain't done that. He's not a mentor to coaches. He's just trying to get people to the NBA and get those wins off those guys back.
Yeah. Well, Mark, it's good to hear from you.
I appreciate you.
Take care,
brother.
I want to say this, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this real quick. There's a lot of folks that are out there like, you got what you wanted. Now we made our bed. We got to lie in it. Okay, look.
You're saying that way too early, first of all. Every time I see that, I'm like, I'm happiest I've been in a long time.
But I'm going to make something very clear, all right? And I mean this when I said this. When we had a problem, it had to be fixed by any means necessary, which means I was willing to deal with whoever comes in.
Exactly.
We needed a change.
Exactly.
So I'm going to root for my team. I don't care if they go here tomorrow and they hire, a high school coach, which, by the way, there's several of them that would be great. They should call up Eddie Mahan right now. But hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Jonathan.
Jonathan, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. How you?
Doing good. What you got for us?
I just want to say I'm just done with Calipari. I don't care who he gets. He don't care about the SEC tournament. He don't care about regular season games. And he can't win an NCAA tournament games because he's got all his freshmen for years and years. And he said he wasn't going to change it. I'm just glad to have anybody besides him. That's all I was wanting to say.
Thank you, buddy.
Man.
We agree with you.
Bruce Pearl.
We agree.
We agree, man. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Jacob Thomas says give Ramon Harris a shot. We love our
We're definitely in on that. Well, he needs to be on the staff somewhere.
That's exactly right. And it's so funny to me because it always seems to work out that like clockwork when somebody makes a comment like that. And I'm gonna give it just a second. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's Derek.
Derek,
hey,
how
what's
you doing?
up, Derek?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Derek, me and you have been staying close during this roller coaster ride, and our emotions are all over the place. You hanging in there, buddy?
This is wild. Yes, I'm trying. It's definitely been ups and downs today. I've been on cloud 9 all the way to the sewers.
Have you found a breathing technique or something to help you through this?
I've mainly been remembering, have y'all ever seen Bad Boys, the movie, where you do the woosah like the captain did?
Yeah.
I've been trying my pressure points. It's driving me nuts, guys.
We'll be all right.
Like 1 minute we're so close, and then it feels like we're back to square one.
Hey, we've got a guest on here. Let's take this, man. We'll holler at you, all right?
Okay.
Thanks, Derek.
Nope.
Hey, but like I said, like Q, somebody says, hey, let's bring on Ramon Harris as our coach. That's our next coach, right? And then so it's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And then Ramon jumps on, and he's on the show, just like that.
What's going on, fellas?
How you doing?
Man, doing good, man. Enjoying this beautiful day. Can't complain.
Man, hey, Ramon, I can't tell you how good it is to see you, man.
You looking good, Ramon?
It's been too long, fellas. It's been way too long.
Yeah, but man, it's been crazy. How have you been handling all this? Just break it down. How have you been handling all this?
Hey man, if it wasn't for Twitter, I wouldn't know too much. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Twitter is keeping me up on everything that's going on right now. It reminds me of 2007.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, are you making phone calls? Are you texting people? Are you trying to find some insight that you can get?
No, honestly, I'm not. I'm not. I've been through that twice in my life. I'm okay. I'm just intrigued to see how this is going to play out. But this reminded me of 2007 a lot.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, since this reminds you of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard the comments from DeMarcus Cousins, but he said, "Call up Rajon Rondo."
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I think fans would love that, but we all know that if you don't have any coaching experience in college, you're probably not.
Yeah,
You're not going to be looked at.
I mean, I might as well keep it in the family. I know that they probably not because he doesn't have any experience, and at the college level, he doesn't have any experience. So I know they're probably not even going to look that direction. But I mean, you guys said Bruce Pearl before when we talked before. I just think he's the best candidate for the job.
There we go.
I think Bruce Pearl's the best guy.
If you were at Kentucky right now and deciding to come back, and they say Bruce Pearl, you're coming back to play for Bruce.
Yeah, I'll come back and play for Bruce Pearl for sure.
There we go. See, that's all. That's all you need to know.
Now, let me ask you this too: do you agree with me that Bruce Pearl is a safer bet than Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because Donovan's been out of the college coaching game for some time, and he doesn't have a freshman recruiting class coming in that could follow him.
Yeah. To be honest, I was talking. I've been having a lot of people hit me up, especially when I go to the gym and work out. Trying to figure out what I was going to do. You need somebody with a personality. You need somebody that's going to be able to handle it and have their own personality, and can strut their own stuff. And Bruce Pearl has Donovan can definitely do it. Donovan can definitely do it. But I just don't think that you leave the NBA system and come back to college.
Yeah.
I just don't see that.
Let me ask you this, Ramon, while I've got you. So, what do you think about the potential, if you don't get Pearl, of getting Pitino back for 3 years?
Obviously.
And I mean, you probably know Barnhart better than we do. I mean, is that even something Barnhart would consider?
Honestly, I don't know if he would consider that. I think he's not looking for a quick fix. I think he's looking for a solution, to be honest.
There you go.
Not that Rick Pitino would be quote unquote a quick fix, but you don't want a Billy G situation again.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You do not want that. And
now how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know anything about Billy G?
Hey man, I know too much. I know way too much, honestly. Yeah, and it's getting familiar. You're getting coaches saying no, multiple coaches back to back to back, and they're going down the line. Same thing that happened in 2007. Guys are getting ready to get out of school. Finals is coming up. Same thing like 2007. Hopefully, they reach out to Bruce Pearl, and they just have a genuine conversation with him. I think he would take it. I think he's a great personality for the job. I was getting recruited by his staff when he first got to Tennessee, and I knew what kind of coach he was then. Real cool. And you want somebody that's going to be able to take on the personality of Big Blue Nation. You want somebody that knows what they're getting themselves into, for one. Because the last time we had a coach that didn't know what he was getting himself into, it was a train wreck. So you want somebody that knows what they're getting themselves into. And you want a guy that, he had Tennessee. When we beat Tennessee at home my sophomore year, they were top 5 in the nation, I believe. They were top 5. So if he can get Tennessee to top 5 in the nation, he can definitely get Kentucky to that as well.
I love that. I love that take right there. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, so, Ramon, listen, we've missed you, man.
Hey, man, Hey, man, it's been crazy. I'm having flashbacks, man, being online with y'all, man. talking
Kentucky
Kentucky basketball.
Far cry from what it used to be. We've got over 24,000 followers now, and we are pushing 500 people live watching right now on Facebook.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I love to hear it. It's been a long time coming, man. You guys deserve it. You guys have always been genuine with what you were doing. Always been genuine with the. You weren't doing stuff for the likes, is what I'm trying to say. You guys were doing it because you cared about what you were saying, and you weren't just trying to get clickbait. You were speaking truth and facts and your opinions, and that's why people love y'all, and that's why I loved being a part of the team. Man, I love y'all, man. It's always going to be love between us.
That's right, man.
Hey, we
got to
get you. We got to get you back up to Kentucky, and maybe we could talk soon. There's some things.
Hey, man,
there's some things that have surfaced recently, man, and we're working on this thing, and it's getting ready to go to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, well I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that. You guys are very well deserving. Like I said, as a guy who's been, quote unquote, dealing with media for years, who's genuine about what they're doing, and who's just trying to get a story. That's and right. Talking with you guys on and off camera, man, it's always been genuine talking to you guys. That's why I have no problem when you text me getting on right now, because I know that I'm not going to have to worry about something later on coming from this. You know what I mean?
Hey, your brother John Wall come out and said he's a Wildcat. He's going to keep coming to games, and he's a Kentucky kid.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got the guys that love it. And playing professional ball for 14 years. There's nothing like that period of time. They say your college years are your best years. And, when you go to a school like Kentucky, there is no alternate. I'm intrigued to see who the coach is going to be. I really hope it's Bruce Pearl. I wouldn't mind coming back and reuniting with Bruce Pearl again, this time in the right colors.
Yes.
But yeah, I just think that Bruce Pearl is a guy that can recruit.
Hey, Ramon, I know how you are about the gym, man. Bruce Pearl takes it. You're going to throw your name hat in for strength and conditioning coach, right?
Man, if I had the background for it, but if he needs a skill development coach, I got him.
There we go. We got to get you on staff. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If he needs somebody that can help do skill development and get these guys going on the court, and working on their skills and stuff like that, I could definitely help with that.
We could have used that the last few years, but we won't talk about that, I don't guess.
That's right. Hey, listen, it's good to hear from you, Ramon. Really, seriously. Let's keep in touch and let's talk soon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be in touch.
All right. You take care.
See you, brother.
All right now.
See ya. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who is this?
Hey, you got Mike here.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, doing all right.
We got Mike on the mic. How about that?
Mike on the mic.
Sounds great. Hey, down here in Middlesboro, this has probably been about, I can't remember when, but during one of Bruce's stints between Tennessee and maybe Auburn, he was doing a job for H.T. Hackney where he was like the sales rep or went around and introduced himself, representing the company. And so a bunch of my friends were sitting in the local McDonald's, which was right down the street from the H.T. Hackney office. And Bruce stops in there for lunch, and they're going back and forth with him, trying to get him to say something about Kentucky. And he said, now listen, guys, I'm not going to say anything about Kentucky. I'm going to coach there someday.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
I think with that Bruce, he's going to come on, and I think the Big Blue Nation would love to have him.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's always said good things about Kentucky, and he's a good coach.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to take another call, all right?
All right.
Thanks,
Take
brother.
care. Hi, Kylie. How are you?
Do you think DJ's coming back?
No. Not happening.
DJ Wagner. I wouldn't rule that out. Why would you rule that out?
Hey, you know what? This is the first my woman has made an appearance on the show.
That's awesome. First time, short time.
Yeah.
What do you think about Hubert Davis?
No.
It's an interesting name.
I mean, here's the thing. Hubert Davis is a player at UNC, or was a player at UNC, and he will never leave. That's how they hire. They hire from within.
Clyde Harris says DJ is not coming back. He's probably not coming back.
But he hasn't decided.
There's probably an 85% chance he's not coming back, but he's not going to the NBA. And where does he want to go? Arkansas, maybe.
He'll go with. He'll probably play where.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I went,
at.
I'd hate to run him off by saying this, but if I went somewhere and wasn't as good as the guy that I started over the whole year because my coach loved me, I'd probably follow the coach.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
sorry, Kylie. No offense to that.
Yeah. Well, love you.
Love you.
I know she likes DJ, but DJ's a great player. He is a great player. He really is. I'd love to have him back.
Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
What's up, guys?
Finally got through,
Big John Hammond's finally got through.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, finally.
I'm gonna have to get a rolling line and a producer now.
Yeah.
We're rocking. What's up?
Yeah. So I just kind of want to give my idea on this whole coaching search thing. Like, I understand, that Mitch is having to do some of these interviews because of the, situation with Drew and Hurley. They have to do the tiers and whatnot. But I'm going to say this about Mark Pope, and I don't mean this as disrespectful because I really like Mark Pope as a player when he was here. But he has no NCAA tournament wins whatsoever. He's just not proven that he can handle this kind of pressure. And I think what would happen is if he come to a place like Kentucky, is he would get chewed up and spit out, like as far as the fan base. And
there's a good chance that I don't know so much chewed up by the fan base, but just by the inexperience. John, you're right. Like we need a more proven coach. But at the same time, we don't know what he'll do. He might be the best coach we've ever had. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Well,
but I'm like you though. I'm like you though. We need a more proven guy.
And that's how Hurley come up. That's how a bunch of these other guys come up, like out of the ranks. But listen, this is not so much on the coaching, but this is on Barnhart too. I feel like Barnhart's legacy's on the line here because if he gets this hire wrong, it could really damage his time at UK.
I agree. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it. And let me say this before I go and let y'all go. If I'm hiring somebody, there's two guys right now on my list that I would put, I would call them right now. Which we're going most likely was Billy Donovan and Bruce Pearl sitting in Auburn. Bruce Pearl gets the most out of his players. So much out of his players. He's one of those guys that is really energetic. I think he would ignite this fan base to the point of getting them back on board and saying, you know what, we're going to get this thing started and get this thing rolling.
That's a good point, John. Hey, brother.
I think it would
go
have
ahead.
this fan base rabid.
Hey, that's a good point, brother. We got to take some more calls with a lot of people trying to get through.
But I appreciate Tim. Go Cats. Hopefully we get a coach before next year.
Take care, John.
All right, see you, Adam. Have a good one.
See you. So we are going to take a quick timeout and get our breath because, man, we've been going hot and at it. Caller, you are on the line. You will be up on the block next as soon as we return. You are listening to Wildcat Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
At London Women's Care, we provide world-class care for the entire family through all phases of life. We have a team of providers specializing in primary care, OBGYN, pediatrics, dentistry, and behavioral health. At 803 Myers-Baker Road, Suite 200, discover how London Women's Care is here for you every step of the way throughout every stage of life. Phone 606-878-3240. Find London Women's Care on social media or go to LondonWomen'sCare.com. Schedule a visit to establish your level of care today. London Women's Care.
Hey, we're back real quick. I just wanted to do a quick timeout just to catch our breath, and then let's jump right back into it. Let's go to the calls. You're on the line with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who is this?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jeremy.
Hey, man.
How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. We're hanging in there. We're just trying to see how this all unfolds. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, I've been screaming for Bruce Pearl from the get-go. I met him at the NABC a couple years ago in New Orleans, and I told him we wanted him then. And he was humble. He said, y'all got a Hall of Famer. But, that guy brings passion. And the fact that the Vols fans still love him and Auburn loves him, I know Kentucky fans will love that guy if we could get him.
I would definitely take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Like now.
Yeah, and we have connections with him. His head trainer I went to high school with. So he's from Kentucky. His wife is from Kentucky. His wife was a former Miss Kentucky.
I didn't even realize that. That's awesome.
Well, so why in the world are we not?
Why is he so far down on the list?
Like, why is he so we should be talking to him now tonight?
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know why
we're not. He would come in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I definitely think he would be here in a heartbeat. I've been telling everybody for years that Bruce Pearl's been auditioning for the job every time he gets interviewed and every time somebody asks him a question about Kentucky.
Yes, he goes out of his way to compliment Kentucky.
Yep,
he's a good guy. Hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, good job, guys.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Go Cats. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it.
We've had so many good calls already.
Yeah, we have. Somebody says, "Why not try Shaka Smart?" I'm not a big fan. He went down to Texas and he really didn't do great there, and I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad with that hire, but it's not one of my main guys. But I wouldn't be mad with it. I'd take it.
And by the way, for the folks saying that he has baggage, let's talk about this for just a second. All right.
Well,
every good coach right now is going to have baggage.
I was going to say Calipari. You think Calipari don't have baggage?
He's got it.
What did we hear when we hired Calipari?
He's got baggage.
Be on probation in 2 years.
Yep.
Give it 2 years.
Give it 2 years, and you won't have them Final Fours be ripped down.
Take them away. But everybody's got baggage, though. I understand what you're saying, but they do.
That's exactly right. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Just fine.
What's on your mind tonight?
I agree to bring back Rick, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody better.
It sure would fire up me and Adam and a lot of the fan base. I know that.
It's funny. There was a podcast at one point in time that made fun of us for saying that about 3 years ago.
That's exactly right. 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that made fun of us. I can't remember their name.
We got upset over Cal.
Kentucky
we got upset over Cal losing out. Was it to St. Peter's or something?
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? Bring back Rick. And this other podcast, you've never heard of it. They ripped us, made fun of us. Like these guys are idiots, and now look where we're at.
Yeah.
He's a proven winner. I think he would take the job, and he would beat anybody out there. And day one, he wants to win every game 100%.
Yeah. The only thing when you bring him, you have to bring a coach in waiting with him. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine.
Well, do you really have to? I would turn around. You're not going to get a head coach to come back and be waiting with him. But, like I said,
well, I mean, if you got a guy
5 years, then turn it over to a son.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you've got a guy like a John Pelfrey, a guy with Kentucky ties, you might get.
I would even bring back Ford back underneath.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Travis Ford, John Pelfrey, maybe even Mark Pope. I know he's a head coach now, but if you could get a former Kentucky player to do that, but we all know that if Rick comes, it'll probably be Richard Pitino will be the guy that'll be training for that job, and that's fine.
I would be cool with that.
Yep. Hey man,
it may stay longer than what you think. I know he's older, but.
Yeah, we might get 5 years out of him.
I got a little bit of news.
But you may get a good 5 out of him, maybe 10, because he works out like a hoss.
That's a good call, man. Go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Let's go to another one. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey, this is Paul down in Spanish Fort, Alabama. How are you?
Right. Wow. How are you?
All the way in Alabama.
Right down in Alabama.
Yes, Cat fans everywhere.
Yes.
That's right.
We got them all over the place, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, my mind is a coach. We need one. I've got a couple of names.
Okay.
I love Bruce Pearl. I'm with you guys. I love Bruce Pearl, but I'm in the minority here when I say I'm a Will Wade fan. I know what he did was wrong, but that's legal now in the NIL world. I know he would know how to handle the NIL money.
Let me jump in here real quick because I've got people asking because I kind of let it out before I answered that call. I wouldn't call it news, but it's from somebody that would know. There's been a conversation with Bruce Pearl today.
Okay. Well, that fits what we're talking about.
There's been a conversation with.
So there is some interest. We know Bruce Pearl be interest. Yeah. So there is some UK interest. There is some UK interest.
My dad goes to church with Barnhart's best friend up in Kentucky, and he told me when this started, he said, "There's two names you need to know: Scott Drew, Bruce Pearl." He said, "That's the two names."
There you go.
Let's get Bruce. Let's do what it takes.
I'm with you, brother. Thanks for the call, man.
There you go.
All right.
Let's do it. All right. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Yeah, man. This is Tyler from Richmond.
What's up,
Tyler?
man?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. I was just I wanted to talk about the coach. I know a lot of people are a little salty over Rick Pitino, but I mean he stated in an interview, "Hey, I'm not going anywhere from coaching until I'm 80." He turned Kentucky basketball around. He won a championship. He did good at Iona with less resources. You know, I say we give him another chance.
I think you let him retire here. I think that would be a really good
How
move.
fitting would it be if he came back, got us to the Final Four or a championship in the next couple of years, few years, and he retired here on top?
Yeah. And the thing is you do that, and then now all of a sudden he's a Coach K. You know, Coach K got to do that.
And you know what? That's his only way to do that.
Yeah.
Is to come back to Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, imagine if you had a Pope under him that, you know, that's what I'm looking at, man. That would be I think that'd be the greatest falling card that could ever happen.
That's right, man. Well, appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hey, you're on. Well, actually, nobody's on. We're good for the moment. But anyway,
there we go. Another call.
Right back to it. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
All right. I was just calling to say that there are better days ahead for the University of Kentucky. I mean, who would y'all like to see be the next coach? I know I would like to see, if it's possible, Bruce Pearl. You know, he'd make a good fit for Kentucky. Get us excited again. And what about you all?
I'm starting to think a large part.
I'm starting to think our fan base is all in on Bruce
speaking.
Pearl.
Look, we gave the fan base a podium tonight
to
to talk live, and Mitch, they're all saying Pearl.
Listen, Mitch, if you're listening out there tonight, there's a call you got to make.
Hey, we know a lot of guys at UK do watch our show, right? They watch our show because they tell us they watch it.
They do.
Let Mitch Barnhart know that the Big Blue Nation is screaming Bruce Pearl.
Hey, man, we appreciate it. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So what's on your mind tonight?
Oh, I guess the same thing as on everybody's mind is who's our coach going to be and when are we going to get him?
What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're not going to get, Hurley or anybody. So, I mean, Donovan would be okay. I mean, but if it's Donovan, we have to get a commitment like now that he's going to start as soon as the NBA playoffs ends because, the portal closes on May 1st, and he won't be bringing any players with him. So that's a concern.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl would be okay. Only issue with Bruce is he is 64, and so ideally you'd want to get a coach like in the 50s, early 50s, to start.
I say Bruce has got a few more years in him anyway.
So a good buddy messaged me and tells me I forgot about this. Bruce Pearl does have a pretty good size buyout. So that's
it wouldn't be a bad hire at all. I would be okay with that.
So Bruce Pearl's got a buyout now. That puts a thorn in some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're prepared to do that right now.
Well, we could still save from what we were offering Hurley.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I don't think a buyout's going to be it's really an issue with this. I mean, if you believe the whole Oates thing at the beginning, his buyout was $18.5 million. So if they was willing to throw that kind of money around and the kind of money that they supposedly offered, Hurley, I don't think a buyout's going to be an option.
That's right.
It's going to be a problem. I just think we need somebody soon so we can getting a roster ready for next year. Of course, if it's Bruce or anybody like that, his freshman, and you would think part of the team from Auburn would join him.
Yeah,
right.
That's exactly right.
That would be a big plus.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who is this? Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? I just want to make a comment. As far as Bruce Pearl's concerned, if all of Big Blue Nation wants Bruce Pearl, it's time to start lighting up Mitch Barnhart's email. And that's all I got.
I like it. I like it. Big Blue Nation, we get on it. We get serious.
Hey,
Thanks for the call, brother.
Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Brandon.
Brandon, what's up?
Not much. I just wanted to let you guys know my opinion. I think we need to get Billy Donovan or Bruce Pearl.
There you go. Hey, look, the majority has spoken tonight, Tim. It's thank you so much, man. The majority has spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, they're letting us all know who they want to see. You're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Durant. Why not bring Rick back and get him to bring Reed back? Get Jamal Ashford Jr.
I made that exact post. I made that exact post.
Jeff as an assistant.
I made that exact post. I said every bit of that. Hey, I said every bit of that on my personal Facebook page.
There you go.
So I love it, man. I wish it would happen. I would love it.
Appreciate it. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey, guys. Jason Kidd. How are you?
Hey,
Jason,
brother,
you finally got
in.
I know it's hard, man. It really is. It's tough to get in.
Man, it's like trying to call in and get concert tickets or something.
I know, right?
Congratulations. You made it through.
Yeah.
Tell us something.
Something I wanted to bring up real quick, and I mean, Tim, you and I went back and forth on several things since this coaching search started, but one name that nobody's talking about that I would just want to throw out there, what about Mark Few? I mean, if you look at his resume and everything.
I would be fine with that. At this point especially, I'd be fine with that. How can you argue against it? He's a great coach.
And, I mean, he doesn't have the baggage that Pearl has, if that's an issue. And then, if you look at his tournament resume, I mean, he hadn't won it yet, but neither is Pearl, but he's went just as far as anybody else, and he's a good recruiter. He develops talent. He's always got some good big guys, stuff like that. That's one that nobody's talking about that I just didn't know if there was a reason or what you guys thought about it.
I like it myself. I think a lot of people think he's just settled in probably. He's just settled in and, don't need to go nowhere, and he's in a happy place, and he's older and he's probably content. But I would definitely take that. Some people's been messaging me Brad Stevens. That's a name, too, that we haven't talked about. But I don't think it's possible.
I know we reached out to Brad Stevens. And he said no.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand. Now that's just, but yeah, he's been talked to.
And I mean, he would be one. I mean, people talking about how hard it would be to pull Donovan away from what he's going on. Well, you would think that it would be even harder to pull Stevens. So.
Right. Hey man, appreciate the call. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Jonathan.
Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Let's go get Bruce Pearl. Let's make them Tennessee fans eat every word they've got.
They'd be tore up. I love it. I love it. I love it, man.
All right, man. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Brian. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Brian from Owensboro.
All right.
I just was going to call him. What do you guys? How do you guys feel like on a young, motivated coach such as like Todd Golden?
I love it. I love it. I've been saying it.
Tim's all about it.
I'm all about it.
I need a proven coach, man. We don't want to make another Billy G.
I can't convince Adam, and Adam's got a good point. But something in me loves the hot shot young guy that does the analytics. He's kind of turning Florida around, won a bunch of ball games.
Made the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Come into Rupp, beat us on our home floor.
I'll tell you this: if we don't get him, we might regret playing against him in the future.
Yeah. I mean, he's young, and that's what we need, I think, for X&O's to start out early. Most of these guys, Patino and Pearl and all of them, obviously they're rentals. We're going to have to end up 3 or 4 years from now, we'll have to end up as finding a replacement. And I agree. I mean, I see where you're coming from as far as just doesn't have that track record. But, I mean, again, this guy's young, and he hasn't really had too many places to where he's been able to develop,
He's definitely a coach on the rise, and I would be happy with it, man. We appreciate the call, brother.
Hey, appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Somebody says, how about Tubby Smith? Now, you all know how I feel about that. Hey, we're going to take 2 more phone calls.
Okay.
So, all right. Who's this? You're on.
My name's Anthony, and I'm from Kentucky here, and I just got one thing to say. I think we ought to hire Scott Padgett.
Scott Padgett. Well, I mean, that's...
I like Scott Padgett. I like him a lot. I'm not real sure he's ready for the job, but I wouldn't be mad about it. I sure wouldn't, man.
Yeah.
Nobody ain't mentioned his name, and, I think we need a Kentucky boy in there for a change.
Yeah.
I think Mark Pope's ahead of him as far as coaching wise and resume, but hey, that's not a bad idea, brother.
While we're throwing him out, I mean, let's throw out Travis Ford. But I mean, his record
Ford's kind of stunk it up a little bit,
yeah, a little bit
in college coaching.
A little bit. All right,
y'all have a great night.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, thanks. All right, last phone call. You are it. You're on.
Hey, this is Enoch Stafford calling from Breathitt County. How you guys?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
All righty. I was calling there. I think we need to bring back Rick Pitino.
I think that's a popular opinion now. I mean, I think the number one opinion is Bruce Pearl, and the second one everybody is wanting is Rick Pitino. At least that's called the show tonight. And man, I tell you what, that would fire me up. That would take my man back to the glory days.
Rick pulled us out of the bottom of the barrel once, and I think he's got it in him to do it again. Sign him to a 4-year contract.
And how fun would it be to watch those two shake hands to start the game, Pearl and Calipari, and at Rupp Arena?
Jeff Shepard's dad played for him too. I ain't reading Jeff's mind, but I'd say he probably would love to play for his dad's old coach.
I tell you what, if Pitino was only coming for 1 year and leaving, but we could get Reed Shepherd back, I'd say sign him, give him whatever he wants.
Add him to a contract, and more than likely he'll hang a banner at Ruff Arena over top of the floor and probably retire when his contract's up and have a good young coach to wait and step in and take his place. Let's rock and roll and get this transfer portal.
I love it, but I love it, man. Let's get it done.
All right. So I have decided, and actually it's through the text of my woman. We've got 700 people.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hate hanging up right now. I hate ending the show with 700 people.
I can't do it with 700 people.
Are we going to 800? We got to keep the show going. We got 700 people watching.
I'm just going to take your calls and let you vent and talk about what you want.
They need this. Big Blue Nation needs this live show.
859-428-8419 is the number to call. If you want to get in on the show, it's that simple. Just give us a call. And
how about this? As long as we're staying close to 700, we're going to try to stay on here. But we drop off, we're going to have to go.
That's exactly right.
So tell your mom and them to go ahead and jump on.
That's exactly right. But
man, we ain't got to talk. We've been taking calls.
No, we've really not had to. One of the things I wanted to say though, and like I said, I do know that Bruce Pearl has talked to someone. I don't know who. Now that said, that's just kind of a source of mine, but it's pretty reliable. So we'll leave it at that. Tim.
Well, they've got interest. It's good to know that UK has him in their sights now. 17 million buyout, is that what it is? 17 and a half?
Yeah.
Chump change. We got it. Write a check.
Yeah, it's not the buyout's not the issue. But yeah, keep on rolling here, guys. Give us a shout on the line. It's 859-428-8419. We are taking your calls and hearing from you. You want anything from Hardee's, Tim?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, cool.
I'm excited about this. You know what? You remember when Calipari came and we were watching The Door?
Yes.
This is magnified by 100.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And, the thing is that was something that I was going to kind of do. You could talk to the folks here. Again, we need y'all to blow up that phone line to give us some conversation rolling. 859-428-8419. All these people watching. Plenty of y'all can call in. Let's go. 859-428-8419. Number's right down here.
I want to thank Wildcat Country Big Blue Nation page on Facebook for sharing our live right now. So we got their audience on here too.
That's awesome. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Man, you hear it.
A lot's going on, brother. Well, what do you think about all of it?
For starters, I've grew up watching, Cal my whole life, watching Kentucky my whole life, really. I don't know, man. I'm kind of tore at it just a little bit. I don't know if it was a good time to go or if it was time to go.
I think it was time.
But
I think it's fair to say it was time.
Yeah. I mean, I think the issue is we done too good under him way too quickly.
Right.
That's a good point.
Then we just kind of we stalled off after national championship run.
He fed the beast. He fed the beast. He fed the beast.
Perfect season. Yeah, exactly. I just want to throw this out there. I think it's time to tell old Mitch needs to get in touch with old Bruce Pearl down there in Auburn.
Let's do it.
Hey, man, that's the popular opinion tonight, man, and we agree with you.
All right. Let's go and take another call. Hey, you are on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
It's Steven Devon. How you doing, Bears?
Hey, we're doing good, brother. Thanks for the call, man. What's on your mind? What you got for us, brother?
Well, there's an old saying to start with. My dad used to say all the time, you've heard a bunch too if you've been around much at all, when it rains, it pours.
Yep.
It's definitely on Kentucky this week, seems like.
It's definitely pouring, man. It's a storm right now in the Bluegrass State. We're looking for an umbrella.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've never seen nothing like this. People staying up all night, losing sleep, missing work.
I've not missed work, but I'm losing sleep, man. I'm having a hard time with it. I can't keep my eyes off my phone. My eyes are hurting. It's consumed everything.
Hey, it's definitely bothering people. I just wonder how much longer this goes on. Calipari, he seemed to told a lot of lies, but I just wonder how much further this goes till people start pointing at Barnhart. Seems like
they're already. Today it started. Once we struck out on Drew, and then we struck out on Hurley, the finger started pointing towards Barnhart. And I think it's a little bit too early, but I agree with what you're saying. He's got to get it done, but the reason he's waiting at him, he's waiting on Donovan.
Well, I am also hearing another kind of concerning report.
Oh, no. What is it? This is live updates right here.
Right. That Mark Pope is being interviewed. Has been interviewed.
That don't bother me at all.
It can bother me. It bothers me.
I know it bothers you. I know it bothers you.
Like that
you know what
would
I
not
like?
be a good hire.
I think it would be an okay hire, and here's what I like. It's a risky hire, but we get a coach in place. BYU's probably got a decent recruiting class coming in. I don't know. He's got somebody to pull from. You know what I mean? And then he's going to hit the transfer portal. I mean,
he's won a few games and everything, but if you're going to go that route, why not even go and start fresher? Why not Jeff Shepard and Stacy Shepard and maybe talk Reed and
Hey, brother, listen. If it gets Reed to stay, I'm all for it.
That's right. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
Allison.
What's up, Allison?
Hello. So, I know that we've had a lot of changes coming up, and like with the coaching and stuff like that, but I don't know about you guys, but all the negativity online or whatever and bashing, that's not what the state of Kentucky and Kentucky basketball is about. And, there was a lot of great things that I believe that happened, when, of course, Cal was there, but the reality of it is, it took away from the fundamentals of us just loving on the kids, supporting them, enjoying them. It all of a sudden at the very end, until this last year, I went to 3 games, and it did not affect me until I just would listen to him. And it's always like, we're young. I got so tired. I don't know, this year all of a sudden. And we have, you got a lot of NBA players who've done a lot of great things, but he wasn't rooted into what our foundation, our fundamentals are.
Right.
And I think that was one of the key things.
That is very well said. I love the way you said that. That's 100% right. Sometimes it's not even about losing in the postseason the last 5 years. Sometimes it's about we're just tired of it. We want the history back. We want the love of the program back.
Hey, thank you for the call. Hey, you're on with Wildcat Sports Talk. Who's this?
This is Jarrett from Moorhead.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
We're hanging in there, man. We're hanging in there. What do you think about all of it?
I think, in my honest opinion, I think they should have kept Cal. The grass is not always greener on the other side. And
Well,
I think that
let me
proven it.
Well, it's not yet. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Not yet, but and let me just
it's
say.
too early to say that yet, but I see what you're saying.
Well,
let me just.
I'll explain why, because a lot of people are not fit for this.
Yeah,
this
but understand it was going to have to happen at some point anyway.
It was going to have to happen soon anyway.
Right.
But here's another thing. The reason I say it's too early is, and I understand why you think that, I do, because it crosses all of our minds. But the reason I say it's too early to say that is because we've not got beat out in the first or second round yet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Once we get beat out, once we don't make the tournament or get beat out in the first round, then we can start questioning it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I think that they need to give Billy Donovan an offer that he cannot refuse.
Yeah. Well,
I think he is the best option on the table. All the other options are gone. In my opinion, I think that they need to get somebody of that magnitude, somebody that is an elite coach and has proven it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been out of the college game for 10 years, man. 10 years.
But I think people would be more comfortable with him or like a Scott Drew or a Dan Hurley, but them other two, they're off the table.
Right,
so
but I think Bruce Pearl's on the table. I mean, according to what everybody said tonight, Bruce Pearl's
I will
on the
say
table.
this: what the caller is saying, what you're saying is Donovan's a sexy name, and I agree with that part.
I mean, I think if we're going to lose Cal, I mean, we at least need to replace him with somebody of that magnitude. You don't want to lose Cal, and then I'm not throwing any shots at anybody else on the list, but how do you lose Cal and get Mark Pope?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, it'd be tough to swallow, knowing that you lost Cal for Mark Pope. I mean,
we would catch a lot of heat on social media, and the fan bases and south of us will really light us up if we fall to that.
That's right. Hey, listen, we and due to the time constraint for radio, because this will air on radio, we have to wrap this up.
With 750.
Yeah, so I hate to do it, but here's what I will say. Folks, if you want us to kind of break in and do some of these here and there throughout the week, I could probably do it.
I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to do it Saturday night. I'm busy because I manage a band named Head Over Heels. If you guys love country music and if you love young acoustic country music, look up Head Over Heels Band on Facebook and give them a follow for me. They're awesome people. I'll be busy Saturday night at them. So if you go live, it'll be without me. But any other night, I'm ready to go. We'll talk about it.
That's exactly right. Hey, listen, guys, I want to thank you guys so much. Seriously, it means the world to us that you would that you would stay here, stick around, and listen to what we have to say. It's definitely going to be a weird next week. I do believe that they will be kind of looking at every different avenue, and I also think if you're asking me, let's do this before we sign out. Let's ask who we think the next coach at Kentucky will be.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know, man. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
If I were putting money on it right now, I think it's going to be Billy Donovan.
I agree with you, and I think the second best option, if you're putting money on it, if it's a FanDuel bet and you're putting money on it, Donovan is the favorite. The second favorite is Mark Pope at this point. And you know why I say that? Because it's starting to appear to me that Mitch Barnhart does not want to talk to Pearl.
It's starting to appear to me.
The fan base wants him. We're all happy about that.
It's starting to appear to me that it's not that he wants to. I've
been told.
I don't want to say this because I just don't know how else to put this. But I'll say. Okay, let me put this into perspective. I think that it has gotten past the point of Cal kind of opening up, of Mitch Barnhart kind of opening up the search. And I really believe at this point that Mitch Barnhart is going to go with an easy, quick hire.
And that would be bad.
I believe
we don't need an easy, quick hire. We need a Donovan or a Pearl.
I'm serious.
And I would love that. My wife says Bruce Pearl. That's who she picks. That's who she thinks it'll be. And if that's true, the people that watch the show tonight will be happy.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you check us out online, WildcatSportsTalk.com. And that's how we get our clicks. That's how we get our money. We get paid. That's how we do it.
That's how we're doing it.
So just help us get on there, get on our website, stay up to date with us, and we will keep you in the loop. But I will say this, don't take Patino out of the race, just from what I'm hearing. That's all I'm going to say.
Donovan, Patino, Mark Pope, or Bruce Pearl. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those guys. But I hope it happens soon, and I hope we get some I would rather start building a roster on our next show than finding a coach.
That's exactly right.
Thank you, guys. We love you all. Big Blue Nation, you're the best.
Any breaking news, and I'll drop in. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like it, follow the page, and we'll see you all very, very soon. My name's Adam.
My name's Tim.
We are Wildcat Sports Talk. Y'all take care.